I'm Jessica Lowe. I'm the ketogenic dietitian at USC, Tech School of Medicine and County USC Medical Center.
Okay.
And I'm Dr. Arthur Partikian. I'm the pediatric neurologist at Los Angeles County USC Medical Center.
So tell me a little bit about your talk that you've done here at Epilepsy Awareness Day 2016.
Sure. We spoke on the ketogenic diet therapies for epilepsy today, on its efficacy, on the various types of diets available, and how it might work for families in their home.
Okay. And what else can you share with the talk?
We wanted people to be aware, people who have epilepsy, especially when their seizures are not well controlled with medications, that besides surgical interventions, devices, there's also an entire other arm of food therapy. And by changing what you eat under medical supervision, sometimes and often we can achieve improvement in your quality of life and your seizure control. And these are standard, proven, effective, and safe food interventions.
Okay, so I mean that's really interesting to tell me about why it's really important about what diet and epilepsy and the ketogenic diet is really important for children, but I also hear it's adults can take it. Is that right?
Well, you're absolutely right. I think for decades, our focus as a medical community has been more on children and treating them with very stringent forms of the ketogenic high-fat diet. But over the last couple of decades, there's more evidence and a shift, practically speaking, of focusing on more adolescents, adults, and using a little more liberalized diet, but still under the watchful eye of a nutritionist such as Jessica. And studies have come out that shows pretty good effectiveness and, again, safety. So we're excited about reaching out to more individuals suffering from seizures.
Okay. So what type of food can people eat as part of the diet?
Well, all of these diets are possibly high fat, moderate protein, and very low in carb. And it's vary in degrees of each based on which diet your neurologist, myself, and the individual on the diet chooses for them. So as far as fats, it's that very classical oils, avocados, mayonnaise. Proteins tend to be more protein or animal-based because they tend to not have carbohydrates in them, and then fruits and vegetables.
So animal-based such as chicken?
Chicken, fish, eggs, bacon is an excellent one because it's also high in fat. So those are those ones. And then as far as carbohydrates, it would be fruits and vegetables primarily.
Okay. And so there's plenty of recipes for people to use?
Absolutely. There are various websites available out there, the Charlie Foundation, the Carly Eisman Foundation. They are excellent resources for families to take a look at recipes. And they can also speak with their own dietitian to come up with things that might work for their family.
So why is it really important to bring epilepsy out of the shadows and talk about it? What do you think?
Well, I know as a dietitian, it's something that I didn't necessarily learn about in my training, and I was fortunate enough to come across Dr. Partikian and learn about this disease that impacts so many, but goes unsaid. And so something like this, where it brings people together, it builds a community, brings resources to families that might not otherwise have it, is very important.
And for you?
Well, the burden of epilepsy is just staggering. So we have over 2 million people affected with epilepsy, over 300,000 children, and higher numbers always increasing, unfortunately, in the U.S. And then there's so many different causes, but regardless of the cause, 1/3 of our individuals suffering from seizures, we cannot stop their seizures with medications alone. And this affects you regardless of your cultural background, ethnic background, age, your beliefs. And there are acquired causes such as traumatic brain injury, multiple concussions, veterans, car accidents, there's genetic causes, there's cancers, tumors, and unfortunately there's many people where we're not smart enough to figure out the cause, but I guarantee everyone you're going to find somebody in your classroom, on your street, who has seizures, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about or ashamed about. The more we discuss this disease, the better we can understand it from the human experience, but also scientifically, and how can we improve that human experience.
So finally, why should people come to Epilepsy Awareness Day?
It does exactly what it is. It raises awareness, provides families the opportunity to not only network with other families, but practitioners, and gain access to resources that they might not have in their communities, that they might be able to connect with and get for their child or for themselves.
Unfortunately,
from the medical side?
Yeah, from the medical side, unfortunately, epilepsy doesn't just mean you're suffering from seizures. The problems that have generated your seizures contribute to your mood, to your emotions, and many people with epilepsy and their families can suffer from sadness, anxiety, feeling withdrawn. So understanding that, number one, you're not alone, that there are other people going through this voyage with you, and that, very importantly, that there's a number of healthcare experts, social workers, mental health experts, nutritionists, advocacy groups that want to help and want to play a role in stamping out this disease. I think that's critical.
Great. Okay. So thank you for talking to me here at Epilepsy Awareness Day 2016.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Really great to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.